Well, welcome back to a cold October day in Scotland just now, and it's the perfect sort of season for getting the hot tents out. And I'm going to be doing a review today on a product that as soon as I've seen it being released, I've just been really intrigued with it. It just looks absolutely stunning, so I can't wait to sort of put it through its paces. So the tent itself, it's the OneTigris COCO NEST tent, which is really a sort of four-season hot tent, adventure tent that you can sort of use all year round. But it's just going to be perfect for this sort of time of year for me in Scotland. So what we're going to do, we're going to get straight into it. We're going to get the bag open up, get it out, have a look at the contents on the bag before we get it set up, and I'll show you all the features. So as per normal, again, when it comes to the likes of OneTigris, the quality of the bagging as well is just as actually good as the tent itself, which is quite important. So again, this particular one is actually 21.7 inches in sort of length, and then it's actually 7.9 inches in width. So again, it just sort of, as you saw in the very first clip there, it just fits in the bag perfectly. And again, I've got so much of my equipment in there. I've got my sleeping bag, etc. as well, and it just fits in no problem. You've then got a sort of buckle top to it, and again, then on the other side, you've just got the normal sort of straps, and then the tent itself, just for the actual straps, just there. So you have all your guy lines, and again, that sort of traditional, really good quality tent pegs that you actually get with OneTigris. Again, really nice. And tent pegs itself. So let's sort of lay everything out just before we actually get the tent set up. So as I said, this is your complete bundle. It actually comes in at 7.3 pound or 3.3 kilos. Again, for that backpacking point of view, just so easy. It comes with a really decent amount of the pegs as well. And as I was saying, just looking at them, really good quality. You can just sort of see, again, I love that design. I've had that in the backwoods bungalow for quite a while, and it all works so well, because again, it's just got that hook just in there. Don't know if you can see it there, which is just absolutely fantastic, just for guy lines, etc. as well. But also just even for pulling out, you've got your cords just at the top, which again, attention to detail. Okay, let's get it set up then. Now, one of the other real things I like about it is it's actually freestanding. So again, in comparison to the iron wall tent I have, where it's actually got a central pole, this doesn't have a central pole, so it actually increases the sort of room inside it by about 40% of your sort of working area, which to me I think is going to make a massive difference. It does mean I can sort of sit inside there and whittle and do things that I wouldn't normally be able to do, that I've always found a little bit cramped, maybe saying for instance like the iron wall. Now again, even from the point of view of that quality, on the tent poles, again, I'm going to have a little chat about that just when we go through some of the technical features of it. But again, really good quality, feels really good, locates really well. Okay, time to get the poles in. So the way it works is you've actually got, I'm going to show it in a bit closer thing, but you've got a wee cup to put on one end, and then it actually feeds through to the other end, and it can't come out the bottom of it. It's actually sort of sealed, which I think is a clever idea. I've never ever seen it before. But again, I'm going to show you in a bit more detail once I've got everything actually located into place. Okay, so that's it up. And that took about 5 minutes. And a wee bit of playing around with it just to sort of get used to it. First time putting it up. But no, very easy, nice and simple to do. It is starting raining, so we might end up having to go inside for a wee bit of shelter. But no, very impressed. Quality again. And as I said, I'm going to do a wee bit of a close-up of what I was talking about, just with that, the way that the actual tent poles go into the system itself. Really, really impressive. Okay, so just going to peg this out just now, get the ground sheet set up, and then we'll have a little walk around it to start with, and then we'll go inside it and I'll show you the inner tent as well. Again, just to sort of get that tension on the tent as well. Really nice solid clicks. So you can actually adjust the strapping, again, just to sort of create the tension. But it's this bit here. So basically your pole goes into the cup on one side, and I'll show you the other just now. So then on the other side there, it's actually just, so basically it's a closed piece of material. So the pole itself actually just goes in there and just stops. And again, that just sort of creates the tension. Such a good idea. I've never seen it before. Such a simple idea. There maybe is other tents out there like it. I've not seen them, but that is really smart. And again, even the likes of that, just to sort of protect, again, through the winter. Benefit of having that there is just to sort of protect the pole from the ice and the snow, etc. But the quality of the poles, as I said, are brilliant. So again, I'll go through a wee bit of technical spec on that just in a little bit. So with this, there's plenty of zips. Now you can take your zip from the bottom, and again, it's just got that Velcro just there to sort of protect it. Again, just open it up. But the bit I really like about this is you can actually zip it from the top as well, and you can almost like create a little half wall. So tonight when I'm sitting in the shelter, I am probably going to have that halfway down just so I can actually see out. I just love that concept. But the other thing that you can do as well, I'm going to show you this just now, which I'm really looking forward to sort of playing around with later. But what you can also do as well is create an awning, which again I'm going to do later on. There's 2 loops just on the end there, which will just be perfect. So we'll get that set up later on, actually have a wee look at it. But just now what we're going to do is just have a little look inside it, and I'll show you the interior of it. Now what you can do here is there's actually a wee pocket just there for the front door. So again, we'll get that put away just now. Now the other great thing about this as well is that the tent itself is actually winter ready, so it just zips down, and the great thing about this is it actually comes as standard, you know, so you don't have to pay any extra money. And then again, that just sort of tucks away, and it does have its wee buckle just there. I think it's great that it comes with that as standard. You know, so we're going to get the wood burning stove in the actual shelter later on. But let's go inside it and have a little play around with it just to sort of see what the features are inside. It also comes with a vent as well. Again, just to sort of be careful just when hot tenting. But that actually gives quite a lot of room, quite a lot of space, and it's a solid pole as well that's in there. Which I think is a really good idea. So the big thing I'm noticing with this is just the space. There's a huge amount of space. Certainly in this particular area as well, absolutely fantastic. But again, I'm going to get the wood burning stove set up later on. But what I want to do is have a wee look at the bug net. Now, in all honesty, I always just take the inner out. I never ever do hot tenting with the inner in. I think I've only ever done it once. So normally to me this shelter would actually not have the inner, but it does have an inner, so let's have a little look and see what it's actually like. So basically you've got your zips round, and then that is just held there. Now again, the other thing I tend to do as well is I'll just use a sleep mat if I am going to be in the inner. So within here what you've actually got is like a hexagonal shape. So it's basically kit at the back, and then it's just going to be a case of sort of sleep area at the front here. Which again, I think is a really good idea. You're not sort of wasting actual room, but again, you've just got that benefit of the shape itself. So the way I always look at it, I'm 5'10", so I've got my sleep mat just there. So let's pop that in. So that fits fine. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to lie down in it and see what it looks like. That's perfect, absolutely perfect. Now it's definitely a one-man tent, which is advertised as anyway, you know, but from the point of view of just kit at the back, you can actually put all your kit along the side there. It does mean you're right up against the netting itself, but that's fine. We'll try it with the netting down. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And as I was saying, I'm 5'10". I think, you know, if you were sort of like 6'3", 6'4", might have a problem, but to be perfectly honest, you know, again, I think a lot of people would just be doing what I'm doing, where you don't have the inner sort of inside. So I am probably going to take the inner out for tonight. I just want to see what that was like, but again, I've actually got quite a lot of room. I'm not necessarily going to measure it out, I'm just sort of lying in it, but I've actually got quite a lot of room there. So, and I've probably got maybe sort of 7 inches at the bottom. Yep, well impressed. And again, that's the whole part of the bit where it's a 4-season. I mean, certainly in Scotland, the problem that we have is the bugs and the midges. You know, so if I'm going to be using this through the summer for camping trips, etc., I am going to be using the bug net. So I would be using it and I would be taking it along. Okay, let's get the inner out, and I want to get everything else sort of set up inside, because I said that rain's getting a little bit on the heavy side. So the other thing, just before on the inner I take it out, but it does actually have sort of storage pockets on either side, and again they're quite big. Again, sort of mobile phone chargers, mobile phones, glasses, things like that as well. But as I said, really impressed with this. That is such a nice setup. I've just doing a few wee sort of configuration changes. Again, that'll be sort of more when I've not got maybe the wood stove in. There probably is enough room. So again, if I was in a position where I had the wood stove in, which I'm going to do in a wee bit, I could certainly have the table there, just for sort of sitting down at night. Well smart. So I've got plenty headroom here, and again, just the way I'm going to show you another wee picture, just again on the buckles there for the inner tent as well. Again, really solid, but so much space. So as I said, the bit I'm going to try in it, I'm going to do one little configuration that I want to try and have a little look at just before I take the inner out and get the wood burner sort of set up as well. So as I said, I'm just going to have a wee play around with that, and then I'll hook up with you. So I'll give you a little guided tour of the final setup. So as I said, huge amount of room in here. So that's got the OneTigris the cot bed, as well as the dipper table at the back, and then the promenade chair, but there's just so much room in there. So I'm in for a really comfy night. So I'm just going to chill out for a little bit and wait for darkness. So I'm just going to enjoy the woodland There's some squirrels playing around just now as well, so I'm just going to sit and watch them for a wee bit, so I'll hook up with you all later. So I'm just going to go through some of the sort of technical specification of the tent itself. So the aluminium poles, they're actually reinforced and they're 10.2mm in thickness. Now the other thing with them as well, the tent itself, it's got the YKK zippers. It's 40D silicon coated nylon with a 3000mm waterproof rating, which again is perfect for the sort of snow and camping etc. through the winter. Again, obviously one of the other things with the fact that it actually comes with that, the fire resistant stove jack is really handy. And then obviously you've got your adjustable corners, which I've sort of showed you in another part of the video. Well, last we just put the wood burner on, and again much needed. It is absolutely Baltic, really cold, so it's going to make a big difference. The thing I'm really pleased about is just how much room around the wood burner itself there is. Again, in the iron wall tent, sometimes it can be a little bit sort of neat from the point of view of the stove itself to the material. But on this, there's absolutely huge amounts of room, which again is really impressive. So I'm in for a good night. It's just going to be a case of going to have one burn on this itself and then sort of head down for a good night's sleep. Although I've got lots of owls, I've also got lots of rutting stags, or the noise of the roar of the stags as well, which is absolutely amazing to hear. So as I said, I'm just going to have a wee sort of chill, relax, get myself warmed up, and then we'll catch up with you in the morning. So just what I was saying there about the distance, again, huge amount of room all the way around the stove. I think I'm in for a comfy night. Well, that was a really comfy night, really good sleep. The rain last night was just torrential, absolutely torrential, and I really wanted to try and put it through all its paces just to sort of see how the tent sort of stood up. But again, from the point of view of waterproofness, no water inside at all, everything's perfectly dry, all the furniture, the bed, etc. And again, from the outside point of view, I'll put a wee bit of footage up there, everything's all beaded. So again, it's passed the waterproof test in my opinion, which was one of the things I really wanted to do. The winters in Scotland tend to be a little bit on the wild side, and I am going to be using this tent an awful lot from the point of view of the winter camping, and again coming out and doing woodland projects etc. Because the whole setup I've got up behind me there with the bed the way that it is, and table and chairs, it's just so comfy. It is so spacious as well. Having the wood burning stove on last night, I was amazed at how much space there is around the actual wood burning stove. And again, hopefully there's a wee bit of footage there on that as well. But there is a huge amount of room, which to me was one of the big things I was wanting to check out as well. So I've actually got it with the awning out just now. And again, I love that, absolutely brilliant. I didn't really think of it. But I think that's a really clever idea as well. So a lot of versatility. Last night when I was lying there, again I had that sort of half door so I could see out to the stars and everything. So overall, absolutely brilliant piece of kit, and something I'm definitely going to be using all year round. But again, through the sort of summer months it's going to be more with the inner. Rest of the year it's going to be no inner and just actually set up the way I've got it just now. So I just want to say a massive thank you for OneTigris just for sending it through. Been absolutely blown away by it, and a really fun couple of days. So thanks a lot for watching. Take care, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.